How did I end up here? Maybe this video will tell you that it was actually an accident. Hey there, I'm Emgris, I'm from Russia, and today we'll be wandering around Moscow with an app Randonautica and talking about whether it's mystical or scientifical, or maybe have some other ideas about it. Have you heard about Randonautica? Probably not. What about Pokemon Go? I think nearly everyone actually downloaded this app and at least tried to find Pokemon. Randonautica is a bit like Pokemon Go, but a bit different. It has a scientific touch and also some mystical and philosophical touch. Excited? Then stay tuned. But what is Randonautica? The slogan actually says that it's the world's first quantumly generated reality game, and they're suggesting to explore the reality you never knew existed. But how does it actually work? There are also stories about young people who went exploring their neighborhood with this app, and they found really scary, strange, weird, horrifying things. Like some guy in Michigan, he went to go for a walk on a cemetery and he found a grave with his own name. Some guys just went for a walk and they found a suitcase that had a really weird smell, and finally they called the police and they found out that there are some human remainings in the suitcase. Some girls found also a suitcase but with some documents and fake money in it. There are lots of stories, and the TikTok is just filled with different horrifying and just funny stories, because some people just found empty boots and just domestic animals. Alright, so we downloaded the app and let's see how it works. So actually it looks like a chat, like in a messenger, like Facebook Messenger or any other messenger. That gives you some rules. You should be positive, you should be careful, you should respect the rules, and then you have to send it to your location. And after that they give you a choice of 3 places: the voids, the attractors and the anomalies. I decided that probably one of them will be the most interesting, so I actually chose them. And then you should choose the way how it will generate this place, and that's the interesting part. I will tell you about it a bit later. And while you are waiting for it to generate the place, you should actually think about the intent. You should think about the reason why you're trying to find a place, and my intent was to just show you something interesting and to make the video about it. So let's see what it will find for us, and let's head to the spot. It's not very far away. But how does Randonautica actually works? It works as a regular chatbot or some other apps of its kind. So it basically gets the data about your location, and then it scatters some points within the 3-kilometer distance and analyzes them. But the main thing about this app is that it's actually randomly generated figures. Because they say if you use some kind of visual website that generates random numbers, in this case they are not random at all, because actually there is some code behind that, and still this code is made by a human, and that's why this is not random at its core. But here it is actually random, because the app connects to the Australian National University that had a quantum generator machine equipment that actually measures the quantum particles, and using the data it generates really random numbers, and that actually makes it special, and that makes this app not just an app for fun, but a pretty interesting university research. That still doesn't have any result, but I like the concept. But here comes the mystical part of it. Do you remember that they asked us to concentrate on the reason for our search, or why we actually wanted to find this place? And the founders of this app, they say that it's the most important thing about this app, because this what makes this randomly generated numbers not that random, but specific to the person, to the situation, to the whole thing that is going on right here, right now. And that's mystical. But is it? So let's summarize everything that we know about this app. It generates random numbers by connecting to the quantum generated number machine in the Australian University. Then it gives us an offer of several types of points, and we choose one of them. But the founders of this app actually believe that the main thing that makes a difference is the user and his request for the universe, for this app, or for anything that he believes in. And that sounds a bit mystical. Then when you think about it, it doesn't. How well are you acquainted with quantum mechanics? Actually, I'm not a specialist at it as well, but I do remember about the concept of the observer. So in quantum mechanics, the particle or the wave can behave differently depending on the observer, whether it's being observed or not. If we make the light come through two holes, in one case it will make two lines on the wall, and in the other case it will make lots of lines on the wall, and the only difference was the observer. In one case there was an observer, and in another there wasn't. And the same thing is happening with this app. So if we are thinking really deeply about it, basically the observer or the user is the one who is making a difference. So since we are considering an observer as an important part of this formula, it makes sense because in this case the numbers are not that random, but they are associated with the user and with his wish or request. And here comes the so-called quantum mysticism. Yeah, quantum mysticism. I don't think there is something special here, but there is the cemetery and some pretty nice church, so let's check it out. So the creators of Randonautica actually claim that if the person keeps his brain open, if he is really looking for something and he has a real request for life, the universe might give it to him, or at least he will be able to make some sense out of it. So, like for example, there was a story about a girl who was looking for some closure, and she ended up on a field with some flowers, and those flowers were actually the favorite flower of her sister who died several months ago, and this girl just couldn't get over it, and seeing this field full of those flowers actually gave her the closure that she was looking for. Yes, that might be random, that might be a field of some other flower, or the girl just thought about her sister and she was thinking about those flowers, but in the end she actually got what she wanted, she got what she was looking for. So if it's a good intent, the person has good intentions, I think that might work, and it's a good thing. But you know, if we just put this app aside and we forget that it's an app that is actually trying to get us offline and to actually see the world around us, yeah, this one. So if we forget about that, we can actually think of a lot of other games and a lot of other concepts that do inspire us to get out, to explore places. And there are some philosophical concepts, and there are some just funny games. For example, there is this favorite author of mine, Max Fry, and in one of his books he actually introduced a game that he made his character play, but I guess that it's just the favorite game of the writer himself. And the meaning of the game was to just create a new route from point A to point B. For example, you usually take a walk from your house to a shop, a coffee shop, or a place that you usually visit regularly, but the game goes the way that you should go, not the way how you like and not the shortest way to this coffee shop, but you should find some other ways. It might be longer, it might take a lot of time, a lot of effort. Sometimes you need to overcome some difficulties, like there will be a fence and you will have to just climb over it, or you just have to run from some dogs, or like anything might happen. In this case, the route will be the adventure, and there is no winner in this game. It's just about seeing the world around you and making sense out of it, not just idly going from one place to another, but just explore the world around you and see it with your own eyes, not from the screen of the phone or just browsing all the time. Just see it for yourself, and it might be the app, it might be the game from Max Fry, it might be just taking a walk and leaving your phone at home. But in any case, I think that's a great idea and a great concept, and it doesn't matter who is the inventor and what are you calling it, just science or just some mystical thing or psychological getaway from your routine, like anything. But just go out and see the world. That's what I will be doing right now and putting down my phone. Have you got any questions about Russia? Leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification button, and subscribe to my other social media, like Instagram for instance, links in the description below. See ya! And for my Russian friends, I will leave down the link to the article on Kommersant about this app and about the quantum part of it and about the mystical part of it. Just a great article that actually gave me this idea of this video. So check it out, and I think it won't be a waste of your time.